There is no speculation, there is no gambling. People are involved in tangible assets that they can trade, rent, or make use of. Islamic finance is not new. Islamic finance is as old as Islam. It includes eradicating certain non-conforming aspects or transactions known with the pre-Islamic era. Now, let's look at the four caliphates, their era. Also, people often assume that institutions who practice Islamic finance are not for profit. This is a misconception. Another misconception is that this can completely be avoided by using the Islamic finance model. This is not true. Hi, my name is Taufik Tichi, a certified Sharia auditor and advisor. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, kindly endeavor to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Today we are going to be discussing about Islamic finance. Modern finance thrives on greed, speculation, debt. It has crashed the world economy once and it's going to do it again. But what's the way out? The defined alternative is Islamic finance. With more than 5 trillion in assets globally and presence in about 100 countries, it is the fastest growing ethical finance system in the world. And what you're about to hear is not just a speculation fiction. And I'm not here to talk about the numbers, but to let you know that this finance system is built on justice, fairness, and ethics. So what is Islamic finance? Simply put, Islamic finance is a halal way to save, invest, and do business without compromising religious value and ethics. It works by ensuring that all financial transactions are backed by real assets or services. Think of it as money working for you instead of you working for money, because the money is not the end goal, but a means to an end. So what are the key objectives of Islamic finance? Number one, justice and fairness. It ensures that all financial transactions are fair, balanced, and free of any oppression or exploitation. It also helps to avoid unfair elements like riba, excessive uncertainty, or any prohibited form of terms and conditions. It also helps to ensure wealth circulation because people stand to gain more by putting their money to use instead of hoarding it. Also, risk sharing. In Islamic finance, one of the core concepts is sharing risk. It also encourages shared responsibility in business by ensuring that partners share risk. It also encourages real economic activity by ensuring that people do not trade money for money. There is no speculation, there is no gambling. People are involved in tangible assets that they can trade, rent, or make use of. Now to the question, Islamic finance a new concept? No, Islamic finance is not new. Islamic finance is as old as Islam and has operated on the legal framework from day one. Now, let's look at 3 key historical moments in the development of Islamic finance. Let's look at Prophet time in Medina. The foundation for Islamic commercial law was laid, which includes eradicating certain non-conforming aspects or transactions known with the pre-Islamic era. This eradicted a conforming or illegal business model and entity for the Muslims. Now, let's look at the 4 caliphates, their era, which included building up on the economic reforms and the financial models left by the Prophet. In the time of Abu Bakr, for example, he ensured that the Institute of Zakah was established. Then during the time of Umar, the centralized Baytul Mal, known as the Treasury House, was introduced. And that was followed by the introduction of gold and silver coin in the time of Uthman. Then the subsequent generations built on this legacy and has been developed from then till this moment. Now, let's consider the modern era. The first Islamic bank was built in Egypt in 1963, which operated on the principle of profit and based model. It operated without paying or charging interest, making a return to Islamic-based finance. Then in the 70s, Islamic Development Bank was introduced, and this quickly eroded presence of Islamic finance in different countries like the Gulf countries, the Southeast Asia, and other neighboring countries. Then in the 90s, major regulatory bodies like HIOFI was launched, and 2000 saw the emergence of global sukuk markets, Sharia compliant funds, and other regulatory bodies. Now, let's consider the misconception. Over time, Islamic finance has been subjected to different propaganda. We will be mentioning some of the misconceptions while providing adequate facts to each of them. One of the major misconceptions is that Islamic finance is just a backdrop to conventional finance, but with Arabic labels. This is not true. The reality is that Islamic finance is a fundamentally different system which is based on Sharia, ethics, and real economic value. Another major misconception is that Islamic finance is meant for the Muslims alone. This is not true. Non-Muslims all over the world invest in and benefit from Islamic finance. Also, people often assume that institutions who practice Islamic finance are not for profit. This is a misconception. The reality is that Islamic finance is a structured financial system meant to trade, invest, and benefit people the halal way. Another one is that Islamic finance is outdated and therefore cannot fit the financial instruments and the models available today. This is wrong. Islamic finance is one of the fastest growing finance systems in the world. This is a testament to how useful and practical it has been and it continues to be. Another misconception is that this can completely be avoided by using the Islamic finance model. This is not true. Islamic finance shares risk and not eliminates them. Also, it is different from the conventional approach which transfers risk to one of the trading parties. Also, people have said over time that sukuks are just Islamic bonds, that is, they have element of riba in them. This is not true. The truth is that sukuk are asset-backed and tied to real economic activity, unlike the debt-based bonds. Another misconception that is often peddled in our environment is that Kaful, which is the Islamic insurance, is just another quoting for the conventional insurance company. This is not true. Kaful is cooperative risk sharing and not profit-based risk transfer. The last one before we go is that Islamic banks can compete with conventional banks. This is far from the truth. In reality, Islamic banks are profitable and stable with growing global demand. Before we end this video, here is a recap of what we have discussed so far. We discussed about the introduction to Islamic finance, the key objectives, the developmental stages, the misconceptions, facts about these misconceptions. I hope this video gives you a background to Islamic finance and has cleared your misconception if there is any. My name is Oketa Abdeji once again. Till next time. Bye.